Supporting a child with executive functioning challenges can in itself be a challenge. To be the most effective ally for a student, a parent/guardian needs to have an understanding of the experience of the struggling child and what has the best possibility of helping. This guide aims to help you get there by taking the real approach. First, a quick primer on executive functioning and why it matters. According to the Center on the Developing Child at Harvard University, executive function and self-regulation skills are the mental processes that enable us to plan, focus attention, remember instructions, and juggle multiple tasks successfully. Just as an air traffic control system at a busy airport safely manages the arrivals and departures of many aircraft on multiple runways, the brain needs this skill set to filter distractions, prioritize tasks, set and achieve goals, and control impulses. In other words, when your student is trying to complete a list of chores, or plan a long-term assignment, or get going on a boring task, they need to use their executive functioning skills. What makes this especially challenging is that these skills are housed in the prefrontal cortex, and that part of the brain is continuing to develop often into a person's mid-20s. Even more challenging in the case of neurodiverse brains is that this development is often delayed, so it progresses several years behind that of a typical brain. So much relies on the development of these skills. The good news is, parental input and support can have great influence on their development. So, what do I mean by the real approach, and how do we make it real? The real approach means to reframe, empathize, assist, and accept, and learn. Reframe, an extremely helpful starting point to reframe your thinking, or view of your students' actions. Dr. Greene, creator of Collaborative Proactive Solutions, says that kids do well when they can. If they can't, there is a lagging skill that needs bolstering. For example, if a child is sitting with the computer open and has been there for an hour with little to no progress on the assignment, we can easily think, why won't they just do it? Instead, making the simple switch of one word can reframe our thinking. Changing won't to can't gets us why can't they just do it? This understanding opens up possibilities and leads us to think of solutions, rather than keeps us in a state of frustration that shuts down progress. Reframing our own view of a child's actions, or inactions, gives us the very best starting point from which to jump off into problem solving with our executive functionally challenged child. If my child won't do something, I might believe they are being lazy or obstinate. If they can't, I am more likely led towards being a partner in solving the problem. Next, we have empathize, showing empathy fosters connection, which reduces stress, which in turn allows for more brain space to focus on any task at hand. There is a good deal of shame in feeling less than that comes along with executive function challenges. Students who know they can handle school content, or feel like they should be able to do daily tasks without trouble, often look at themselves and think, what is wrong with me? Having awareness of this as the adult ally, you can then focus on sharing your understanding and letting them know you are on their side. You can help lessen their cognitive load by alleviating the worry around both their feelings of inadequacy and their concern that you think they are not trying. Assist/accept. The reality is that kids with executive function challenges are often in some ways younger than their years. At times, these students need their adults to a degree to be their executive functioning while the skills are being built. If you are thinking that your child is 13 so they should be able to do such and such, it is helpful to remember that in terms of executive functioning, they are likely more similar to 9 or 10. Expectations should align accordingly. If you wouldn't expect your 4th grader to be able to plan out a week-long project, you also can't reasonably expect an executive function challenged 7th grader to be able to, either. One area where you can offer effective assistance is through assistive technology, both high and low tech. For example, to aid in time management, consider supplying your student with a visual timer clock. Individuals with executive function challenges often have time blindness, so do not have a good sense of the passage of time. While we are keenly aware of the 30 minutes that have passed as they have been sitting on their bed deep in thought, they may feel like it has only been a minute or two. When we know it has been an hour that they have been sitting at their computer for what should be a 20-minute assignment, they might feel like they have been at it for barely 10. Giving something visual to make a clear picture can help them build over time a better sense of timing. Another example of tech assistance is an activity app. This is an app that gives them ways to keep track of what they need to do and rewards for doing them. There are many to choose from, so I have compiled a list of suggestions that you can find listed below this video. A second area where you can assist your student in building their skills is helping them with metacognition. Metacognition, or thinking about thinking, is an extremely effective way for students to build a foundation upon which to gather skills that help with executive functioning. When you see your student struggling, help them to step back and examine the situation, how they are feeling, and what they are thinking. Help them get to the heart of what is blocking them. Some good questions to have them reflect on are: am I tired? Am I hungry? Do I understand how to do this? Do I know what it looks like when it is done? Does this feel boring? How can I approach this? Once your student has been able to find the source of the blocker, help them think about how to specifically address it so they can get to the task at hand. Learn. The very best thing you can do is learn all you can about how their brains work and the challenges that come from that. Having a deep understanding will allow you to offer the most appropriate supports. There are endless resources for learning about executive functioning. To help get started, check out the suggestions I have listed below the video. Final word: as a parent myself of children who struggle, I know all too well the experience of being made to feel we are not doing enough /right/well. The goal of this guide is to offer knowledge, aka power, and strategies. I invite you to see this not as you are doing it wrong, but rather feel empowered with the knowledge and skills to find ways to effectively help your student. Thanks for watching.